I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Find your way back home.
What's up? My name is Ollie from Train with Olly, and I simplify fitness. In this video, I'm going to show you the simple steps that I took to get as shredded as possible with as minimal effort as possible. So following these steps in this video will help you reduce your body fat and get in better shape for the summer. I want to make this video for the people who wanted to lose some body fat and of course do it as simply as possible without having to go on some crazy strict diet, without having to spend hundreds of dollars on some new training programs or whatever. It's a simple step plan you can follow which will help you get to the goal you want to get. Before I begin my video, I want to give you guys kind of my story with how I kind of lost my body fat. So I started with someone who would only eat broccoli, rice, and chicken, and I ate this about 5 times per day. And I would drink no soda, would only just, stick to those pure bodybuilding foods and nothing else. And I was eating a ton of it. I'm a terrible cook, so for me that was even worse, but I thought, eat like this, be shredded, it'll be totally worth it. So after some time, I was noticing that I was actually gaining body fat since I had not calculated my macros correctly, and I was just simply eating a lot of food. And so after some time, I noticed that I was just getting unmotivated because I would only eat the same foods again and again, and I would never change it. And once in a while, I'll go to McDonald's and just absolutely binge it, or a night out, or you simply name it. I had no idea what was the required thing that would help me lose body fat, enjoy it as well, and then not worry about everything that I ate. So step number 1, and that's to reduce your meals. Instead of having the entire day to eat, that you only eat 2 meals a day. So for me, I only eat lunch and I eat dinner. And why is that important? Because when you're not eating, your body is in a fat burning mode. So what this means is that your body is consuming its body fat as a source of energy compared to external sources such as a muesli bar or whatever breakfast food you could have instead. So by first of all, having your last meal at night, you basically pull that through not only to the morning, but also to lunchtime. So the time that your body is burning body fat is actually far longer than if you were to eat breakfast. So first tip, do not eat breakfast. Number 2 is plating and how your plate should look. So if I put up an image of this plate and what it looks like, you can see that half of it is pretty much vegetables. And this can be vegetables such as salads, such as steamed vegetables, you name it. And for the other quarters, you can see 2 things. So one of them is carbohydrates, and this should be kept on the smaller side actually. Perhaps even 1/8 would be better. Simply for the reason that if you eat less now, that you can eat more later. And the larger part would be protein, of course. If you're going to be strength training, it is essential to have enough protein in your body so your body can use the protein to then build muscle. So let's say you have lunch, you have like your protein, you have your vegetables, and you have a little bit of carbs, and then you have dinner as well, the exact same idea. And let's say at night you're craving something with sugar in it. Let's say some ice cream. That means that since you didn't have your carbs during your lunch and your dinner, that means that afterwards for dessert you are able to eat it. So think about your carbohydrates and your grainy foods. Try and use this more sparingly. So the reason why I said one small portion of carbohydrates is simply this reason. You can have more carbs in the end of your day if you have less during lunch and during dinner. So let's say for me, if I wanted to have ice cream at the end of the day, I wouldn't eat any like carbs during lunch or dinner, or like a smaller portion, and then at the end of the day, during dinner time, after dinner, I would just have some ice cream. And so you've had the calories or from carbs, and you've put them and save them up from lunch and dinner, and then you put them towards dessert. So the same way you can play around like this. Let's say during lunchtime you want to eat like something like a toasty really badly. You can just have the toasty and then try and be a bit more sparing with your carbohydrates for during dinner and during, let's say, dessert, if you even have one. So tip number 3 is carbs on the weekend. So I like to do the same principle as I said before, but perhaps do it over a weekly basis. So let's say you don't eat, let's say, your breakfast, you have your lunch and your dinner, and you don't have a lot of carbs, and you kind of save it towards the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And this means you're more likely, or you have the freedom to kind of eat more carbs then as well. So let's say you just eat that, low carb life from Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday you just go with the pancakes, Nutella waffles, highly recommended, and other elements like that. Then it's okay, because overall your weekly average totals that you've had only so many carbohydrates. Tip number 4 is to eliminate sugary drinks, and this means simply do not consume beverages with sugar in them. They're high calorie and they're unnecessary calories. Honestly, drinks such as Diet Coke, and instead of drinking regular Coke, the difference is quite small. I can't taste it myself, but if you can, I would recommend switching over to Diet Coke and drink similar to this one, simply because you don't have the calorie density that comes from it. Once again, you can save the calories and then put it to something more awesome, like ice cream. So tip number 5 is to drink more water. Drinking more water will keep you well hydrated, and also will help your body flush out the additional substances it's holding in and retaining. This will also help with their fat and getting your fat moving around, and of course burning the fat off. However, if you do drink water, make sure to try and avoid doing it at meal times. If you were to drink water at a meal time, and quite a lot of it, it actually just like dilutes your stomach acid, making it harder for your body to digest the food. So if you feel bloated or whatever, I would recommend perhaps not drinking so much water around the meal times. Perfect time would be, let's say, breakfast, when you don't have a meal anyway. So perfect time to drink a lot of water, since you've also been dehydrated all night, especially now in the summer. If you're waking up like me, just absolutely roasted, it's the best thing there is. Of course, there are more accurate manners of doing this and more specific manners, but I'm about finding what's the easiest method to do it that isn't 100% like you must do this, but simply steps that you can implement in your life slowly, and over time you can learn to become the fitness expert yourself. Take these tips in consideration, try and apply them, and if they work, excellent, and if it's too much in the beginning, build it up step by step, so until the point where you can do it all the time. Guys, my name is Ollie from Train with Ollie, and I thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please give it a like and a subscribe. And if you want to follow me on my social media accounts, once again, my Instagram is Train with Ollie, and my Facebook is Train with Ollie PT. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Way back home.